I've seen the question. I don't know if you've seen it. I know I have. How does this end? What is the end game? What are you men hoping to accomplish? Freedom, self ownership, fulfillment. Now, there's something that I need to clarify. I want to set this down. Are we the rodents of Universe 25? No. No, I mean it. It's a solid and hefty no. I mean, I've seen other people's theories on it. Some of them are pretty neat for what it's worth, the way they sell it, the way that they saw it. But no, I don't agree. I do not agree. Screw you, Dave Rubin. I don't agree. I don't know what that was. I'll stop. The deal is Universe 25 is an experiment in how we would survive in utopia as acted out by rodents. But we are not in utopia. Thus, when someone throws the accusation that you're one of the pretty ones of Universe 25, you can know that they're wrong, as our environment is not utopian. If anything, you can consult with Leaders Eat Last for the concept of the circle of trust, which is another video to come. The point is that we are not in a utopia. We are not in an external stress-free environment. So then what is it? What am I saying? Okay, you stood against something. What do you stand for? Well, I'm going to pick up Erotism here by Georges Bataille, and probably mangle his name, and I'm going to try this one out on you. Extreme poverty releases men from the taboos that make human beings of them. Not as transgression does, but in that a sort of hopelessness, not absolute perhaps, gives the animal impulses free rein. Hopelessness is not a return to animal nature. The world of transgression, which swallowed up humanity as a whole, is essentially different from the animal world, and so is the restricted world of hopelessness. The world of hopelessness. Oh, look at your window. Getting there. Reduced to animal instinct, which is motivated by a hopeless life of transgression. Powerlessness creates the need for power. Where does this take a man? It leads him to a place where he has nothing to lose, life has no meaning or worth, and others are just prey for his amusement. On the other hand, if he still has his spirit, rebellion, or as you might have heard it called, hockey mask time. That's right, the world of hopelessness ends with hockey mask time. So, I want you to know that the hopelessness, yeah, it can happen to women too, but that's a women's issue, and I can't speak on women's issues. Feminists told me so. Now, I'll most likely defy that later because I like not doing what the feminists say, but for now, I'll just note it, leave it off the table. So onwards. So we're not in Universe 25. This is a world without a squared circle of trust or a functioning social contract. So what do we men do? Where is our bright star in the sky to guide us? If we have no true north left to chart a course, what then? Well, that's where this all comes in. All these men that you see putting up their videos, trying as hard as they can, it's the red wisdom, or whatever they want to call it. But it boils down to all the knowledge of what it means to be a man. Women, society, culture, the dreams and aspiration of the Western world. The knowledge that would allow men to be men again. Bundled up. Some, Happy Humble Hermit, I wish him the best in creating the new Library of Alexandria. For me, I'd want to dream a little bigger. The idea of a cultural sea change, where this is hung in the sky as a true North Star. What it means to be a man again. What it means to have your heart back, as John Eldridge would say. One day it could float in the night sky, and it could illuminate the way for all the men to chart their course by. the idea of it. See, this is not a nihilistic death cult trying to stop all the breeding. This is not a movement to send men away from women and convince all men of the evils of women. This is not even about women, totally. It's about the state of the circle and the contract. Probably said that before, I'm going to say it again. This is not about women. This is the state of, well, the state too. Here's the deal. Another layer of this. All men must die, I believe the saying goes. One day I will not be here. One day you will not be here. But until then, we must be able to chart a course for the sake of our freedom and the resource we will never have enough of: time. The end game of this is the happiness of men by having a light to chart the course by, no longer in darkness, no longer in hopelessness, no longer reduced to the animal state. Thus, with the sum total of society calling for the death of men as powerful beings, with each man burdened with the sin of his forefathers by the Church of Social Justice. Each man who chooses to walk the path must be given every tool he can carry and each piece of the wisdom that will hold water, because there are other more powerful men that will try to stop you. Otherwise known as the trad cucks and the soy boys. Look at Silicon Valley. Just saying. So what's the worry right now? Infiltration and subversion of the ideas. If men go to women to learn how to go their own way, how can they go their own way? They give her the money and be like, I need the head pat more than I need wisdom. I need to hear what you have to say. As the people with the most subscriber counts will define what the word means. Look at the SJWs and the power of defining what a word means. You can't tell me it's not a problem. This is the final refuge of men of this time. In this generation, there is no longer a gym, a shed, a cave, or a space left that I know of where men can congregate as men in safety and security. My caveat there. Another push is to go inside of our minds, inside of your mind, one more time. You're trying to break free of the gynocentric culture and conditioning, and that final push into this heart of your being is to deal the death blow to your hopes, to leave you wallowing in the world of hopelessness. And it's not the women that are doing it, those in power. So if we do nothing, we die in this generation. There will be no wisdom to pass on, no trees to plant to grow into bigger trees to one day renew the forest. Let the scales drop from your eyes, and may the path be revealed to you. Take these lessons with you, if only long enough to look at each man of red wisdom in a different light. See him not as a man who was pushed to this, not as a man who was harmed and has no other recourse. Who hurt you? Oh, the litany. But the deal is, I can still laugh. I'm still smiling. Hopefully you will learn to laugh again. You will learn to smile again. I hear the call-in shows, the men who call in, and I'm going to say it breaks my heart. I'm going to Jordan Peterson all over you right now. I just get so sad. Yeah, I'm not very good at crying. I cry here and there in private. Here's the thing. You got to look past. You got to see the man that's trying to help you learn to find yourself and your happiness. When you see the lessons hiding behind the humor, the rants, the ravings, the video games, the scripted text, know that that man is evading the call of the dominance hierarchy. Because remember, the dominance hierarchy is the thing that makes the trad cucks believe that because they're millionaires, you have to work in their factories because you're a loser and they're winners. So because they're a winner and you're a loser, you have to obey them. Remember, that's the dominance hierarchy. Heck, remember that the weird thing about the PUAs is that they're oddly sexually altruistic. because they want to get you laid too. I don't approve of what they do or how they do it, but I do know the change in behavior. Men who tell other men how to gain sexual conquest. It's not really happened very much in the history of man. I mean, there was a reason why Cyrano de Bergerac, that whole story was kind of unique. And now it's commonplace? Huh. So in these moments, we men are standing shoulder to shoulder. We are a phalanx of shields, standing firm against the arrows of the media pulpits which are trying to blot out the sun with their hatred of you. That can be proved with objective evidence. Go watch the 420 podcast, the Roundtable News show. Odds are you've seen it. You can't tell me you don't know. So I wish the best for you, each of you. Till next time, we will rest in the shade.